Hi, my name is Silair,
And I'm Daniel Isakovic.
and this is our Milestone 2 for our Raspberry Pi voice assistant. So, the goal of this Milestone 2 was to create a connection between a web server that's hosted on Google Cloud Platform and our Raspberry Pi voice assistant that we created in Milestone 1. The tools that you're going to need to create this project if you wanted to do it on your own is a Raspberry Pi 4, a USB microphone, something similar to this. You don't need the specific one, obviously, and then speakers.
So, what are we doing? In Milestone 1, we developed a ChatGPT voice assistant that ran on a Python script using a Raspberry Pi 4, a microphone, and a speaker. And for Milestone 2, we're deploying a VM on Google Cloud Platform to act as a web server. We're running a script on the GCP VM that backs up the data we collected from our Raspberry Pi. This includes the resource usage, the queries, and their respective responses. In addition, our web server will serve as a user interface that displays previous queries and answers and allows users to view the hardware usage. And we've chosen PHP for the front end of our website and MySQL for the database.
So the technology that we've used for Milestone 2 include obviously GCP. Google Cloud Platform is a platform featuring multiple useful technologies, two of which that we've used in Milestone 2. You can see that we've listed MySQL Server. My MySQL Server, which is hosted on GCP, and this is where our backend basically lives and communicates with our application on a Raspberry Pi, as well as the front end. And the other one is just the compute engine, which houses our virtual machine. We use Nginx, which is a free open source web server solution that allows us to host our web server on our GCP virtual machine. We use cron table to on our Ubuntu OS to schedule weekly backups. PHP, as mentioned before, was used as the main language for the front end of our web server. And MySQL was used as the database to store tables such as queries and Pi usage data. So for our web server, you can see the two pages that we have. We have this queries page, which shows questions and also responses, and this is coming straight from our Raspberry Pi. And you can see they're also timestamped. And for our second page, which is our Pi usage page, you can also see the same timestamps as well as CPU usage percentage, memory usage percentage, and disk usage percentage, which are the metrics that we wanted to measure.
So, the major pieces of code within Milestone 2 included a script that backed up the data that we collected from our Raspberry Pi on the GCP VM. And that's the first image on the right. Uh, this shell script sets variables for the username, password, database, date, and then creates a format also creates a variable for the directory and then dumps all of the SQL data into that directory. And then our the second image is a function that we added on the Raspberry Pi's Python script. And what this function does is log our questions and answers with a time on a CSV and creates variables for the CPU usage, memory usage, disk usage, and finally, now that it has those variables along with the question and the answer, it sends those as post requests to our PHP files that we created for submitting usage and submitting queries. And at the end of the function, we get a confirmation message that shows that our data was successfully added.
For the future direction of our application, we'd like to integrate um, different models of language AI that OpenAI has, sorry. Such things as like Dolly images or maybe ChatGPT 4, which is like the more current version of their modern language model. Also, alternate TTS voices. It's still very robotic, which doesn't sound great, but it gets the job done. And then the ability to run prompts on the web server. This is actually something we wanted to implement in this milestone, but we weren't able to. So the next one, but we hope to get that running. And now it's time for our Milestone 2 demo.
This is Daniel. I'll be doing the demonstration for Milestone 2. Our project was the Raspberry Pi voice assistant, and I'm going to jump straight into the functionality test. So, within our directory, we can run our Python script to get our voice assistant running. And once we run this, it'll be actively listening for a wake word. And in our case, it'll be hey. So I'll wait for the script to run. Hey, what is a Raspberry Pi? So you can see our script listened to the wake word, got our question, and you're about to hear the response from ChatGPT as soon as that's given to us.
A small and affordable single-board computer designed to encourage teaching of basic computer science in schools. It is developed by the Raspberry Pi Foundation, a UK charity organisation. The Raspberry Pi board consists of a system on a chip, SoC, that includes a CPU, GPU, MEMS, and other components.
I muted it just so we don't have to listen to the entire response, but you can see after our question was sent to the API, our data was inserted successfully, and that was our function that sends our data as post requests to our web server. And so let's take a look at our web server. This is from a previous test, so now when I refresh my page, you can see the response that we just received from Raspberry Pi on the previous screen, as well as the question. And you can see the question was asked at 228.26, and in usage we can see 228.26, as well as all of the hardware usage for the Raspberry Pi. And along with this in our demo, we'd like to show our script actually successfully running. So on my VM, I'm currently in my home directory, and so I'm going to head to cron weekly to show our script. The reason I'm in my home directory is because this is where the backup files are going to be saved. So I wanted to show that we don't currently have any backup files. So once I'm in cron weekly, I can see, nope, that was ls. Once I'm in cron weekly, I should be able to run that backup script, which is a shell script. And that was a success. So if we head back to my home directory, should be able to see that we have our backup of our SQL database. So that concludes our demonstration for Milestone 2. Thank you for watching.